Hello everyone, this is the Mgtow Cowboy. Greetings and salutations. This evening I've had a couple of beers, not too many that I'm messed up or inebriated. I think my thoughts are still pretty well collected. So before I got more loaded, I wanted to make a video for you guys. And this is going to be a shout out video, but it's also going to be a commentary video. There is a fellow Mgtow. I've looked at his stuff before, and I'm very saddened. Maybe not saddened. I'm disappointed to see how good his videos can be, but he doesn't make a lot of content. I really wish, I find his content to be really good. I find his content to be of high quality, but he doesn't make a lot of it. And it's just sad. I mean, I wish some of these content creators would make, a video every day. Maybe not every day, every week. God, every 2 weeks, give us something, to chew on. But anyway, and he's not the only one. There's lots of them, and I like to do these shout-out videos. Okay, so anyway, there is this content creator, fellow Mgtow. His name is Mgtow Stan. Mgtow Stan. Stan, S-T-A-N. Mgtow Stan, I've seen him around. If you see this video, I like your work. You don't have much of it. I wish you made more content. I listened to your video several times. I decided to do a shout out video. I thought your video was really well put together, and I thought you had a lot of good points. Or basically, I agree with all your points. So, anyway, okay. So I'm gonna play. I think this is Mgtow Stan's very first video, and it's pretty good. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'll probably play like half of it, and then like just make comments as I go along. Obviously, again, it's a shout out, but yeah, in this video, he's going to talk about preventing yourself from getting doxxed. So someone like Rad, he's obviously not worried about that. Or I mean, he shows his face. One fast stack, he shows his face. Okay, if you want to do that. Obviously, Hammerhand. There's people that show their face. But the point is, I think he's right. As a general rule, we should seek to, unless you're a big fish, but if you're a small fry like me, I think it's a good idea to take preventative measures so as not to dox yourself. So, point number one. Let's see. Point number two. He talks about preserving male spaces. I couldn't agree more. I wish we could still have the Boy Scouts. By the way, a very quick aside, I went to a restaurant today, and I ran into, I think it was 5, could have been 6, I don't know, 5 Latter-day Saints, or parishioners of the Church of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as Mormons. I ran into 5 Mormon boys. They were all on mission. They were good kids. And, yeah. I always get a kick out of how they're always well dressed, Their standard dress is always just, they're all wearing shirts, and they were all wearing collared shirts, and they weren't all wearing ties. Some of them were wearing ties, slacks. I always like that about those people. I don't like everything about them, but I mean, you can't even drink beer, in the Mormon faith, but. You can't even have like a 7-Up, You can't even have a squirt, Why can't you have a squirt? Well, apparently it has caffeine. Mormons or parishioners of the Church of Latter-day Saints, they can't even drink caffeinated beverages. Can you guys believe that? I'm talking to this one kid while I'm in line, Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm carrying on. Okay, so yeah, Mgtow Stan. So yeah, he was talking about one last thing he was talking about that I'll talk about in this video, or I'll comment on this video as we go along. He was talking about the artificial womb. You know, you guys know the artificial womb? Yeah, I really think that technology will be what frees us. And I like talking about that every once in a while. He'll talk about it. So if you guys don't know, you know, the you call whatever you want. We collectively we call it the artificial womb. The artificial womb is real, and there have been multiple cases where it's proved to be real. In fact, secretly, I think that the government, and if not our government, probably other governments have, again, secretly or in a clandestine manner, they've already done this. I think they've already grown humans or cloned people. Who knows? But yeah, you basically have like we've already done this. There have been studies. There have been scientific studies where they've done this with mice. We've already done this with. I don't think it's a sheep. I think it was a lamb. We've already done this with lambs, where we take like a lamb, and you put it in like a. I can't remember the whole like you. It's like a bag within. It's like a fluid floating within a fluid or something like. It's like a. Okay, you take like. Okay, you take like a. Let's call it a bio bag. You take like a bio bag. You take the actual animal or the creature to be grown, and then it's in this bag. We'll call it a bio bag, okay? And then it's submerged in a liquid or a fluid. Let's call it. It's submerged in a fluid, and it's floating in like a transparent. It's floating in like a transparent plastic bag. It's a bag filled with liquid that's floating in another bath of liquid, and it's got like an umbilical cord, you know, or you can cut the umbilical cord from the animal and hook it up to like an IV, not an IV, but think of like a nexus, like a connection. You know, there's going to be a whole bunch. Imagine a bag with like a lamb inside of it, and you got like 3 or 4 tubes sticking out of this bag, and there's some fluids, and one has oxygen, one has got like a bloodline, and you know, and it's I don't know all the science of it, and you connect it to this connection of like blood tubes, and then whatever, and then 6 weeks later you unzip it, and then the baby's born or something like that. But like anyway, so the point is we actually already have this this baby bag, this bio bag. And I'm going to play this video. I might make 2 parts to it. We'll see right now. But this is a really good video by Mgtow Stan. I'm sorry, I'm going long. Let me start playing the video.
Hello, man. I decided to make a video regarding a recent urge that I feel is going on within the manosphere. And it is relating to take actions against thoughts. And it is provoked by the feeling that I share that basically men are staying idle while women, the government, YouTube, all sorts of organizations are bashing on our philosophy and on us as Mgtows. And it is, I do share the concept that we must unite and take actions and fight back wholeheartedly. However, I wish to say to those men, like certain individuals that I probably don't want to mention yet, but if you have been watching live streams of so to say famous Mgtows on YouTube, you might know what I mean. Like, you know, putting guns in the cars keyholes of women, or you know, aggravating them, so to say, with actions. And I just want to say that you have to be very, very careful when you do such things, because despite many of the Mgtow publishers that are doing videos on YouTube having a lot of experience with women, I feel that it's either me or they haven't learned their lesson, or they're just very brave, because I have a feeling that a lot of Mgtows, at least on YouTube, that are doing videos do not recognize women as a fearful, vindictive force. They do not, I don't think they think that women can actually hurt them, to such an extent where they might have to leave the platform or the country or really go to prison. And I speak from experience. If you want.
Okay, let me pause it right there. So notice how he says he speaks from experience, and I agree with him. Everything he just said is totally true. I also speak from experience. You can definitely end up in jail if you play your cards wrong. I have played my cards wrong, and I ended up in jail. Luckily, there's more than one hand to play in the game of life here. But so right now, what is he talking about? What is he talking about right now? Right now, he's talking about you got to be careful. You can be doxxed, and you could be. I've said this before. You can be thrown in jail. You can lose your job. You can be blacklisted. And, he talks about that. I couldn't agree more. And I think he's going to talk a little bit more about the subject. Also, you have to protect yourself, at work and all that stuff, and you can elaborate on that. But, this is just a commentary video. So let's just continue on.
To fight back, how it is a bad strategy to deliver blows to your opponent that will not kill him or would not disable him. I'm not saying that you have to, kill women, of course, but what I'm saying is that from a strategical point of view, if you have for an opponent a feminist, which is a highest form of female in our culture, and you deliver blows to her, it will only aggravate her, because she can always retreat to her house, think about what have happened, and then return back with a fresh idea how to demolish you. Even if you try to hide, if you continuously do such things and they see it as a pattern against them, then essentially this will cause a backlash against the entire philosophy, possibly. If you take on, if you hide behind the philosophy of Mgtow. So if you do such things, I suggest to try to be anonymous and don't go behind any name, so to say, because.
Okay, I'll pause it right there. So he's talking about kind of the same thing, but I would word it slightly differently than how he's wording it. I think what he's talking about actually is. I'm sorry to get back to it, but I think he's talking about the power of the government. He's basically saying, you cannot deliver a knockout blow to these women. You cannot, definitively beat them in the court of public opinion, and of course in the court of law. So, but what you can do is you can anger them, right? And then they can regroup, they can re-strategize, and then they can come at you again. basically what he's saying is, and I agree, I completely agree, you can't win fighting women. Men have been legislated. I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I've really come to believe this. Men have become slaves. Men cannot win against women. It's illegal. It's very, very simple. The women have changed the laws. Men cannot win against women. You cannot dominate over women. You cannot win against a woman anymore. It's illegal. They have passed laws. But they can win against you. But they're weak. They're smaller. They're more diminutive. We can easily beat them, but we can't beat them because they've just passed laws. Women have passed laws, so many laws, to the point where they have enslaved the men. That's what I think he's saying. And that's what I see. And so the best way to protect yourself is to not even get involved with them. I know that sounds crazy because that goes against like our biological imperative to want to like meet up with them and, get together with them and form families with them and mate with them, provide and protect, blah, 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 and mate with them, make kids. But that's the reality of the situation. It really has gotten that bad. And men like Mgtow men, we're the few men in society, and we are growing, but we're still a minority. We're the few men in society that are sounding this alarm. That's what's going on. What I think he's saying is you just can't win, and then these women become vindictive and they just want to get you. You can't put them down. You cannot win. They just get to, even if you run away temporarily, they can run away. You cannot punish them. You cannot win, and then they regroup, and then they go to in a very calculating manner. They regroup and they re-strategize, and they're just trying to figure out how to get you, how to hurt you, how to screw you over, make you lose your job, take your money, and so you can't win. Under this system, you cannot win. Period. That's what I think he's saying. That's how I interpret it, what Mgtow Stan is saying. So. And I agree with him completely. Wholeheartedly, I agree with him. And eventually, we need to move to the point where we change that. All right, moving on.
The only thing it will do is just shut us down.